if you lost him, you'd be pissed. You'd be pissed at some point. You'd be mad that you let him get away, and then you'd have to pretend like it wasn't your fault, and then you'd have to pretend that you're actually happy, and then you'd have to start dating, and it wouldn't be successful, and you'd have to pretend that it is, and then you complain about how men are in general, and then you just become bitter and you sound like shit. You're divorced and you're unhappy. So don't do that. Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Moleski. This is my YouTube channel. Years ago, about when we moved to West Virginia from Colorado, we had a bunch of meat. We had went in with another couple on a cow. So we had this really beautiful meat in our big freezer, and we didn't want to transport it. I canned a bunch of beef, by the way. Really good decision. First time canning, I strongly suggest it. Anyway, okay, so we had a bunch of meat to give away. So I called or left messages for 5 people, 4 women, 1 man. 3 of them were broke-ish, like not doing great, not dead broke, and with families. Guess who couldn't make time to get the free food? Do you wanna guess? It was the people who did like the most complaining about their state of existence. And it really pissed me off. Because I thought, probably rightfully, I'm trying to help these people and give them, $100 worth of food, and they can't make the time to do it. I was available for 2 days. They could have. And then wrongfully, I let it bother me. And then I started thinking about how noxious of a thought program that is. That if you offer help, no. It is the lack of help and assistance provided that makes people in a hard way. And that's not it at all. I think maybe even it's the opposite. So what I'm trying to say is, we live in a society that seems to think that if we give more, like shove fucking gifts down people's throats, everything is going to be better. But it's actually really not at all like that, is it? It's the people, when you have a society that if you look at all and try, you can have good things. And I think that's a really great system to have a country built on, okay? So, but hey, stop. Let's not get political. Let's take it back and into interpersonal relationships. Is that what that interpersonal? Just like relationships. I knew a guy who said, he was dating a woman and she wasn't like super excited or something about dating him. So he stopped dating her. He's like, I don't want to be with anyone. Listen to what he said. I don't want to be with anyone who isn't totally pumped to be with me. Okay, that sounds obvious, right? You're thinking this is a dumb video because it's so obvious. But here's the thing. It is so obvious, but people don't act like that. So this video, I want you to know that you should not be giving away your meat to anyone who isn't giddy about receiving it. There are so many people, yours truly included, historically, who have tried or wanted to be with someone who wasn't pumped about me. Now, I also give advice like, be the kind of person that people are pumped, that a man or a woman, whatever you are, pumped to be with, okay? So when you're single, you should be making yourself better. But, come on, even really, really amazing men and women are not loved by the opposite sex of when dating. Somebody's not going to want to be with you 100%. And you're going to keep trying to sell them or give them your meat. And I don't think that's good. I think that you should be having them fight a little bit for your meat. At least be excited about it. At least make time to get your meat. See, I almost went political with it, right? I was in that murky little area and you were starting to get mad. And you started to have your opinions and then you're like, I hate this bitch. But don't hate this bitch for that reason. Hate me for telling you that you should be with someone who really wants to be with you. Okay. Oh shit, you're married. Oh God, you're married and she just doesn't appreciate your meat anymore. What are you gonna do? You have to start making more recipes with your own meat and really get to appreciate what you have. When you start to elevate your meat or get more of your meat or do more with your meat with other people, no, I'm not talking about your penis. I really am talking about like who you are, the characteristics of who you are. If you start giving that and expanding yourself to other people, it's going to make you more irresistible to the other person. No, I'm not talking about being jealous. I'm not talking about jealousy. And you know what? If you think I am, then you're a goo-boo jiki and a dummy pants for presuming the worst. It's called bad faith, right? You're having bad faith. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying to start living more for yourself and expanding your reach of humanity. Who can I help today? Because my wife doesn't want my help or my husband doesn't want my help. The reverse problem of that, here she comes. The reverse problem of that is you're not appreciating your husband. I think that's the easier one to fix. It's kind of like the fartier one because it involves you having to like love somebody for who they are. It sucks. Boo! You have to change to get my respect. Boo! No, I really think that you should look at your husband with fresh eyes. Because I'll tell you what, if you lost him, you'd be pissed. You'd be pissed at some point. You'd be mad that you let him get away, and then you'd have to pretend like it wasn't your fault, and then you'd have to pretend that you're actually happy, and then you'd have to start dating, and it wouldn't be successful, and you'd have to pretend that it is, and then you complain about how men are in general, and then you just become bitter and you sound like shit. You're divorced and you're unhappy. So don't do that. Okay? Your meat is important. Society does not operate well when you try to shove your meat down other people's throats. They either want it or they don't. They can better their station, okay? What kind of meat are you providing to the world? You know, the other problem is I wanted to do a whole video about this, maybe I will, but they talk about they. They talk about hypergamy as such a problem. Okay, fine, sure, got it. But you know what I think is a bigger problem? I think there's a real word for it. I call it low pergamy. Low pergamy. Men do it too, but let's point the finger at a specific gender. Women who monkey branch from shitty guy to like shittier guy, right? You probably have an example. Okay, there are some women who are only comfortable when they're uncomfortable. Some women can only really jam with a man if he's hitting her or abusive or manipulative or cheating, right? It's like it's something wrong. It's not good, straight, solid, godly thinking or a way to live a life. But you don't want to be the best guy for a woman who's looking for the shittiest guy, right? Because those men have a tendency to, well, historically, I haven't made a video in 100 years, historically come to my channel and just bitch about how women are suck, horrible, shitty people. And they're just like really not a great guy. So they just got caught up with a woman who was getting the best she could in the worst that she could find. Should I do a expanded video on that? You know what? You could say yes, and I either will do it or I won't. Someone close to me told me that I was annoying because I ask for opinions and then I don't take those opinions, right? Which puts me in a jam, because then that means if I'm going to upset someone for asking the opinion and then not taking it, it means I can't ask the opinion anymore unless I commit before hearing it to do that opinion. See, you're wondering why I even started making videos again, because this is what it's like. And you're like, what? Wait. I don't think this is the same girl. I think she died and she was bought and made into a artificial intelligence that looks like Jennifer Moleski, but is an idiot. Or maybe you're like, oh no, this is the same idiot that I remember. Or maybe you're just really happy to be with me right now. Okay, so you should stop the video right now, because now I'm going to talk about gardening. Okay, so everyone, have a great day. Tell me what you think about high pergamy, low pergamy, and giving your meat away for free. Okay, bye. I'm going to pretend to click it. Boom. Not stopping. Because we have to get the dog. Zosha! She's somewhere. So this is 7,000 square feet. It's an old corral. I don't know where Zosha is. Let's vibrate her. And I want to plant. Like, I should be using this. There she comes. Can you see her? There she goes. Zoom. I should be using this for food, right? But it's at a slope. What percent? I don't know. I'm learning about topography right now and how to make topographical maps. I don't get it. I am not understanding it. I'm also learning the piano and math. I have a botanist tutor, I guess. I don't know. So I'm trying to like learn some things. I don't understand. Anyway, topographical maps, I'm trying to learn about that, because can you see the property? Okay. So it's super hilly and slopey. And I don't know what to do about that, right? I have to do terraces by myself. I mean, yeah, my husband can help me hardscape when after work, you know? I'm not the main focus of his life, really. Well, I am, but that's why he can't spend all his time with me. He wouldn't like that anyway. But, so I'm trying to figure out how to terrace that, okay? I have been super stressed out about what to plant in my garden, which is kind of asshole, right? We all have our stresses, and I'm really privileged. You know, I wasn't always in a good way. I remember when I moved, oh no, my bulbs. Look. Can you see? He's exposed. These are my tulips. Oh, fart. In my 20s, I was broke. And I remember I moved into a new place, and I peed, and I didn't have money for toilet paper. I had to wipe with my hand and then wash my hand. I always tell that story because it's like, I think it shows that I lived in a shithole, and I wiped with my hand. So, but now I have land and toilet paper. So, you know, up and up. But that's kind of what I was saying. Like, because I live in a society that allows me to thrive, and like there's not a ton of great choices for women. So my awesome husband and I finally figured out, I finally learned how to pick men. So I knew that he was the one for me, and because there's no good women, I won. Awesome. So that's good. And now that I am married and fine, now I can try to help you be married and fine, because you're not in competition with me anymore. Just kidding. No, I honestly just figured this shit out the past couple of years. Okay, so this is the second garden. First garden, there's the corral. And then this is my middle garden. Last year, it was thriving. I think I did a video in here. Huge, lush, green, beautiful. It's just so weird to see like a garden in the winter versus the summer. It's just such a difference. It's like you know what it is? Whenever I see someone out and about and they're not smiling, I think they look like an asshole or a bitch. Like, oh, that person is not someone I'd want to spend time with. But then as soon as I see them smile, I'm like, oh no, they're a good person. So I think like the resting face is a garden in the winter, and then the smile is the garden in the summer. It's really hard to imagine it. This old tractor is covered in honeysuckle in the summer, and I think I'm gonna move it and replace it with roses. I want this to be a rose garden. Roses, hydrangeas, white, fluffy, beautiful bees, butterflies, like you're in a cloud, like a pink, feminine cloud. And I want there to be an arbor in the middle. So you're gonna come from here, right here, okay. So, and then you walk in, then you walk into the garden, and I want there to be an arbor on this side and an arbor on this side. And for it to like envelop you. And then right here, there'll be, what's it called? Like a pergola? No, kinda. And you're like draped in, bless you, draped in rose beauty. So from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, I'm online learning more about flowers and soil and compost and hugelculture and topographical maps and garden mapping and planning, companion plants, friends and foes, when to plant, when to start inside. I said to my husband, is it okay that I'm doing this? Because there's nothing that says genuinely pointless than a beautiful garden. Now, I really believe in capital B for beauty. And I think we all have a responsibility that we neglect to be as beautiful as we can to inspire the world around us. Thing is we're out in the country and it's very private, and who's gonna see this? All of our friends, all of our like 3 friends that don't come visit us. The UPS guy, Dusty, Dusty'll like it. So will Michelle, our mail lady. So I asked my husband if this is okay, that I'm living my life trying to make this beautiful. And he said, yes. So I get to keep doing this. But it's like I'm stressed out over something that doesn't really matter. I just want my husband to be happy. I want it when his friends come over, his one friend that actually comes and visits. I want his friend and our 2 new ones, Ike and Randy. They're new friends. I like that. Anyway, holy God. I want my husband to be proud of his wife, his child, his property. Okay, my battery is dying, so I need to go. Wish me luck on the gardening. If you have any suggestions for 6B compacted clay alkaline soil, let me know. Okay, thank you, everybody. Guard your meat. Bye.